Yeah, no, yeah.
There's another boogie on here.
This is who I am. This is where my heart. This is who I'll be. This is where I started. And I'll be making my way, making my way. It's all about the fame. I'll be making my way. Who I am. Where my heart. This is who I'll be. This is where I started. And I'll be making my way, making my way. It's all about the fame. I'll be making my way.
Yeah, I've been in this thing for a minute, with my head up in the clouds, hoping that I finish. I be rapping, I be singing to the day I die. Ambitions of a true survivor, so now I ride. It's my reply to the whole world, know my name. Lights, camera, action to the top, all the way. Yeah, there I go with a smile wrapped around my face, knowing that I made it all the way through God's grace. I found my place with harmonies, keys, and melodies installed in my brain. The hustler psychology possibly made me this way. Since 7 years old, I've been rocking the stage, and now I'm all grown up, and I be doing the same.
So this is where my heart. This is who I'll be. This is where I started. And I'll be
living in this world for free. We all lie for them dollar bills. I'm stacking it in God we trust. I got my eyes on the prize, no falling off. Every day is a struggle, but I'm devoted to the cause, so I'm going out. Hustling in these streets on the paper chase, doing features and shows. Get my exposure, that's the reason they wanna hate. But tell me what you know about me. This shit ain't come overnight. Hell, I've been grinding since the age 13. Learn my game in the streets from the OGs. They taught me get money and fuck these haters, let them blow like a wind breeze. D1 don't depend on no man. If it ain't about money, it ain't about me. That's the motto with master plan. I do this for my kids and my family, cause I'm all they got, they need me. So why the fuck would I stop? I'm destined for success, and it ain't come easy. Had to keep my head up, cause the rap game needs.
This is who I am, this is where my heart is, this is who I'll be, this is where I started. And I'll be making my way, making my way. It's all about the fame, I'll be making my way. Who I am, where my heart is, this is who I'll be, this is where I started. And I'll be making my way, making my way. It's all about the fame, I'll be making my way.
With you told me you cool, I told you we cool. We not a cool, we not a team. I know what I mean. You act like a fiend, like you want to be. Nigga, these flows and these niggas can't stop me. All these niggas gon' hate, they can't top me. I know you a man, nigga, you jock me. Constantly, always watch me. On my page, I'm on the stage. I'll be the motherfucking carry lady of rage. I don't give a damn, nigga, I'll be outraged. I don't give a fuck, nigga, under it. Up at the top of these niggas is mad because I need to never stop. I don't give a fuck cause you an enemy, jocking me, watch me like an eye. I don't give a fuck, bitch, I never put this in these niggas, I'm not no cop. Y'all bitch ass niggas ain't Red Sox niggas, so I will never stop. I'm from the 510, get in my dough, I don't give a fuck, nigga, I just let it all go. And y'all niggas is mad cause I'm in the zone, and I'm zoning these niggas, I'm whipping these red cones. All of this orange shit, like the construction bitch, running this shit. Then the Mazoning trick, I don't give a fuck what y'all niggas wanna say, cause y'all niggas mad, you ain't getting that pay. Wasn't on T, getting that money, niggas is hella like class card numbers, ain't getting no money, you dead like mummies, y'all niggas to me, irrelevant and bummy. I don't give a fuck, nigga, I'm at the top. Y'all niggas mad, you watch me like clock. I don't give a damn what you gotta say, I like your body, but try to y'all say what I say. Then I spit, I don't give a fuck, I get hit after hit. You niggas is tricks, feeling this shit, now I rap you dude. Don't give a fuck, I eat you like food. Niggas is mad cause got weak ass crew. You can't even beat me with all of you. Nigga, I'm crazy, came out the zoo like an open zoo. Nigga, fuck all of you. Do it to the game, and don't give a fuck about clocking no fame, clocking no fame. Don't give a fuck cause you relevant, nigga, you don't respect the fucking game. Up to the top and I never stop, I don't give a fuck like I already said. You bitches is niggas is mad as a hella mad cause you still paying for head. You ain't getting brag, your pockets on tap, tap, yellow man, cause you motherfucker can't speak like that. Talking about I'ma do my own shit, and giving it damn nigga, get on the grip. I don't give a fuck if you butter or a creep, you disrespect me, you turn to a trick. Dead to this shit, dead to me, I don't give a fuck, nigga, you an enemy, fuck a friend of me, you ain't been shit to me. Niggas ain't even on this motherfucking shit. I just had to go back, niggas was trying to block my chakra, but God delivered me from this. That's real shit, nigga, okay.
The following program contains scenes and language of a frank and explicit nature. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good evening, gentlemen. That what you have inside of your clutch at the current moment, that is a product of the future. This is something which allows you to see inside of the future. See the world as you would love to see it. Tell me, sir. What do you see?
Man, I see me moving objects with my head. And when it turn nighttime, the sky's red. Flame blows from the poles up on my bed. 6 holes on it, one between my legs. Everyone's a freak, everyone's real. Everyone speaks how everyone feels. Everyone's chill. Nobody has to hide in how you look in the mirrors, how you look inside. Dance. Or a dime, a dozen. No need for money, ain't no need for you to budget. No need to do whatever if you do not love it. Ain't no need to walk cause we fly above shit. Believe in unity. There's one company in the world called Unipeace. All sales is the underlying true belief. I got a piece cause this price tag too much for me. Imagine a pair of shades that you see in the store that let you see your future and what it has in store. What if it let you make the world how you would like to be? Once you put it on, what do you see?
What do I see?
It's quite
What
simple,
do I
sir. The world is not what you
What do
perceive
I
it to be, sir. The world
Once you put it on,
is what you make it, sir.
What do I see? Sight for the blind, direction for the mind. No such thing as unemployment lines. Every crib got a view, stacks to the roof. What's the W2 when you work for you? Trips to paradise is just off the stoop. Voluptuous females in European coupes. Aviator status, sleeping in the stratus. Just left the funeral for poverty's passing. Crimes cremation, wars execution. Writing a speech for President Peace, introducing the candidate who won by unanimous decision. Running her 6 turns straight, such persistence. Commander-in-chief of the U.S. That's you, me, everyone, everywhere, yeah, U.S. Damn, lenscraft of magnification. Seeing inside, peace got assassinated.
Imagine a pair of shades that you see in the store that let you see your future and what it has in store. What if it let you make the world how you would like to be? Once you put it on, what do you see?
What do I see? What do I see? What do I see?
Once you put it on, what do you see?
Your mind goes too deep, sir. You don't understand what you've just done. You see, what you've just realized is that chaos is a necessary part of the world. There is no perfect world. Because there is no perfect thing inside of the world. There is no perfect anything. That is the truth. Okay, sir.
Yeah, what's up, everybody? This is your boy DJ Rogue. We are on Anna's Global History Radio. Hey, Anna, are you in the building? We about to do this.
Sure am. How you doing?
Good, good, good. And we are live.
All right. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's been a little bit. How's it going?
Oh, it's been good. It's been good.
Yeah, yeah. Good, good. You know, stuff keeps hopping in the world. Man, we can start with Vallejo because it's kind of on my mind right now. This connects with some themes that are real meaningful to me. So there's this organization called Vallejo Main Street that puts on these music festivals, these nighttime community music festivals and stuff. So I don't like how they've gone about stuff. So I've sort of like had some disputes with them before. And last year I was looking and I saw that there's a charge for the bouncy house. And this is basic, I mean, this is basically a nighttime music festival. I mean, there's a couple booths selling stuff, but it's not like you're going to one of the street fairs or something where you know there's going to be a ton of booths and people aren't really there to buy stuff. And so I think since so much money's been put into the music, like what would it possibly hurt them to have a free bouncy house? You know, like how about if families can be walking along and their kid wants something and they cannot be wondering in their heads like, wait, oh, can I afford this? Or like, is it gonna be bouncy house or a hamburger or whatever? So I commented about it last year, and then I did this year on Facebook. It struck a nerve. A lot of people were posting with real vehement agreement. Like this organization gets $20,000 from the city of Vallejo. They're downtown. How come Vallejo citizens have to pay for a bouncy house? Like, shouldn't it benefit citizens? And what is money going for? And then somebody else got on Facebook. I mean, somebody I thought I was friendly with, like, got on the post and was bashing me about how this is a community event and people work so hard. And I'm thinking, like, well, A, so what? And B, I mean, what do you care? This is like, there's a lot of causes that I don't care about or disagree with. But if somebody's posting about them, I'm not going to take the time just to stop and try and argue with them. So I wound up blocking her because she was disrespectful. And so but I found out because they were trying to use this as an argument, and they said Pip and Do, this former council member, has a initiative where a kid can read a book for 15 minutes and get it signed by a guardian or whatever, and then they can get a free bouncy house ticket. There are so many things wrong with that. I don't even know where to start. And as a lifetime lover of books, I know kids today don't read like they used to by any means, but that's not how to get kids to read a book. I know plenty of the kids, if they do that in the first place, they're going to just be sort of like, okay, blah, 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 15 minutes, going to go get it signed. And like the school and the libraries have incentive programs for reading, and yeah, they get stuff, but that's something where interactive, it's where they're getting attention and positive support, and it really is about the reading. This is so what, but when so that aside, all the kids who are simply incapable of doing that or whose I mean, so when I saw that, I was just like, hell no, it's not okay to help some kids and not help other kids. That's what's so fucked up about it. I mean, if kids, if somebody had posted like, well, maybe kids need to learn about the real world, and I put down kids whose parents are struggling financially are very aware of the real world. So I mean, it's one thing if you want something and you can't have it because your parents can't afford it. But then if you see some kids are being helped, like some kids are getting like a free ticket and other kids aren't, that is just such a terrible message. I mean, and it's just so basic. It's a fucking bouncy house. Like, okay, I know this isn't like a track meet or something. I mean, you're really not doing isn't anything that exceptional. So anyway, I asked a friend of mine that runs a nonprofit with youth if I could use her organization, which is a 501(c)(3), to do a GoFundMe. When I do GoFundMes, I always go through nonprofits so that money for the cause doesn't go directly to me, because that just I want to be above reproach. If people have an attitude, if people have an issue with me, it's not going to be because they think I'm ripping people off. And Francine has 6 kids. She also runs an organization called Helping Kids, and so she has relationships in the community, because that was the other problem. You have to, I can't just go out like handing out tickets to kids. That's not appropriate. And it's just not. So it needs to, so yeah, we could be going through families, through relationships with people that she already has. So then so then somebody on Facebook, another person was bugging me about it, and but this guy named Sean West. And so he called Pip and Dew about it, and they both called Francine. And Francine called me up really upset and told me to take the GoFundMe down because she was worried they'd mess with her nonprofit. That she's like, Pippin's going to call you. I heard from this person and this person. I'm worried they'll mess with your nonprofit. And I'm like, okay, fuck, this is my project. Everybody knows it's my project. It's my idea. It's my initiative. And you are trying to bully a young Black woman instead of confronting an older white woman. And so, I said to Sean, this guy, I mean, I was all capsing it. I was like, leave Francine alone. And he started calling me a bitch and all that. So I blocked him. And I just was waiting to talk to Pippin because I wanted to try and get the message across, because she said that, oh well, I was worried if she was going to do this that she didn't have insurance. And I was like, Francine is a professional. You need to respect her. I mean, that's really disrespectful. That's inappropriate. It was my thing. You all knew that. And I just, I mean, if they'd done that to Mario, because his nonprofit's a recipient of funds for me a lot, I would have been mad. But Mario doesn't give a shit what people say, I mean, he's been around here forever. Um, Everybody knows him. If you're a younger person with a nonprofit that you've had for a couple years, you are just really vulnerable. And that's what they were playing off of. So I just did my best to fix the situation and what I did. Because, I mean, they put me in a yeah. So, because Pippin said this guy had called her, and I was saying, well, so what? He has nothing to do with it. And I said, I'm gonna switch it to Mario because nobody's gonna bug him. And she's like, yeah, I guess you're right. What true to point, none of these people have called Mario. They're not gonna try and fuck with Mario. But so I had to tell the donors that I returned their money. I had to tell the donors that they now you can give it to a different nonprofit. So we were in the paper. Did you see it, Ro? Did you see it? I can't hear you. Anyway, so yeah, we were in the paper, and they quoted Mario, who was much more emphatic than I would have been even.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, it was muted on the microphone. Yeah, no, I didn't see it.
Oh, okay. You gotta keep up, man. So, she interviewed Francine, she interviewed me, she interviewed Mario, and Mario puts on great big community. I mean, Pippin was giving me this sob story about how, oh, well, when La Russell charged us $15,000 for this, and I'm thinking like, so what? You have him for like, so I'm like, I mean, that means you have $15,000 basically. And she's complaining about how they got less money. Okay, you're want me to feel sorry for you because you people got 20,000 instead of 30,000. So yeah, so anyway, what happened was the GoFundMe money was in Mario's account, so he was gonna just front the amount so that we could purchase tickets. And so Friday night we were down there and Mario didn't show. I don't know what happened. Yeah. But I don't know what happened, but he only got notice about this a couple days ago. I mean, the reason we're in this position in the first place is because of these assholes picking on Francine. So, there's no point in me. I called him, I texted him. But it was fucked up because Francine has a booth there. She's like selling snow cones and stuff. And um there were a whole cluster of kids hanging out around the booth. They would have loved to go on the bouncy house. Because when you talk about these kids, I mean, and that's including Francine. I mean, I don't know how many of the kids, I don't think all of her 6 kids were there. I don't know, but who's, 60. And yeah, so we raised $330 easily. And I was doing that because I wanted enough. It's on for 3 weeks. So I wanted enough for the first week to figure out how we were going to do this. And if there'd been money left over, I would have just saved it for next week. But since we weren't able to do anything at all, I refunded the money to people because the other problem with GoFundMe is that it's really slow for the nonprofits to even get the money. So, I'm still waiting to get compensated for for GoFundMe I did 2 months ago that goes through, it goes through Mario's nonprofit and all of that. And yeah, I mean, they should, it would be, so many people would try and pull scams with raising money for charities, so it shouldn't be easy. And so, I kind of understand that, but it makes it hard to do something because Francine didn't realize that I thought she'd done GoFundMe's before, but she hasn't. So I wasn't too sure so I'm like, okay, well, if it works, I thought some of the delay was me getting my money back, but they actually don't even send the money to the 501(c)(3)s for like a couple weeks. I was like, okay, well, that's no good. She can't like put money forward and then not get compensated. And I really was, I mean, I don't know her well. I mean, I don't know her well. I really wasn't thrilled about having working anything to do with money with somebody I don't know well. While all this was happening, I had spoken to, oh, well, no, while it was on Facebook, Supervisor Cassandra James sent me a message saying that she would sponsor the bouncy house. So we're trying to figure that out because the way they had it set up, anyway, I was saying, well, I don't know what to tell you because we don't know how many the only way we could do it then was purchasing tickets. But so hopefully we're trying to figure this out this week because the fact is we shouldn't even be doing GoFundMe's. They should fucking pay for it. So, but one of the reasons it was so significant to me is because of a book that takes place in the early 20th century called A Tree Grows in Brooklyn. And it's about an Irish family living in the really poor section of Brooklyn. And it's a real classic of that genre, I guess, of hardworking immigrants in a new land, and this family's poor, and so there's all this stuff. In those days, also, the book came out in the 40s, and in those days when they made movies out of books, they really just took it right from the book. So I'd never seen the movie, but I pulled it up and watched it, and it's all exactly from the book. They had this thing where on the weekends, the boy and the girl go, like, they go around picking up pieces of metal or something, and they take it down to the junkyard, and there's this whole line of kids with their stuff doing that. And then there's the kids coming out are saying rag picker to the kids in line, even though they've just been doing the same thing. So then the kids need to go in and have their metal weighed, and they get like 6 cents or something and split it. This was like, they could get candy for a penny back then. So it wasn't a lot, but it was, they could buy stuff with it. They really could. So, another part of the book that is just so memorable to me is a scene at a Christmas event. There's some Christmas show for all the little poor kids, and a little rich girl comes out on stage with a doll, and they said, this is little Mary, and she wants to give her doll to a girl named Mary. Is there anybody named Mary in the audience? Okay, these people are Irish Catholic. Probably half of them were named Mary, but nobody's going to raise their hand because they're proud. Kids are proud. And so Francie wants the doll so badly. She raises her hand. And so she goes up on stage, and all the other little kids are whispering like, beggar, beggar. And they ask her name, and she said Mary Nolan or something. So they give her the doll. And so one of what this shows is how important books are for what I've talked about before, for learning to care, for learning empathy, for learning to look deeper at what you see around you. And so with the story, Francie found out that her name actually was Mary Frances. Everybody just, she wasn't lying. She was just, so yeah, so you don't do that by being forced to read 15 minutes, doing some stupid little thing to sign it. But my younger sister loved that book as well, and I emailed her about what was going on with it, and I was like, I'm doing this for Francie. She wrote back saying, yeah, this for Francie, because it's just sort of the same thing. It's like, okay, you're making such a big deal about something, and to a lot of families, it just kind of seems it's gonna feel like their business being put out there. People don't need the public to know whether they can buy their kids a ticket or not. And with us, I mean, that's the other reason it was so important to me to be working with the nonprofit and have them give out tickets, because the youth organizations here give out tickets to stuff all the time. Nobody's gonna think anything of it. So it's just what books can do. Me and my sister weren't from a poor family, but we both, and we read it, and we grew up very differently, but that was the point. And there were other parts of the book. It was one of the things that was most vivid about the book is the pride that the children had. So, thanks to all this bullshit, we were not able, I mean, I'm still upset about it, about how many kids were around our booth. They, if you didn't know what was going on, people wouldn't have thought anything of it, because I mean, they all like clearly, I mean, have enough to eat and clothes and stuff, but their parents don't have a spare $10. And I think that's something that people like these Main Street assholes that a lot of people just don't even consider. So anyway, I'm just keeping going with the bouncy houses, and I'll send you the article because I thought that we might not wind up giving out tickets for the first night, but this isn't why. And I didn't think it would. I thought that when you're trying to put a project together, that we might not be able to, but yeah, I don't know what the fuck happened with Mario, and I am upset about it. But he's not the one at fault. The fault is, so I talked to one of the, I mean, having him involved counts for a lot. He puts on great big family events with bouncy houses that nobody gets charged for. So does Mina Diaz, who's a leader that I just spoke to earlier, is the same thing. You don't. So, and it's also like, okay, if they really are, I mean, if the bouncy house operator is really supposed to be making their money from the tickets, there's no fucking way. Like, okay, like maybe 80 kids buy a ticket, guess it something. So, that just means when you look at your expenses and insurance and all of that, that's nothing. So yeah, I don't get it. So hopefully I can lean on some more people because talking over the whole thing with us raising money and all that, I'm just like, I don't, I sure as fuck, I don't want to like front the money. I mean, I could I'm still waiting for other GoFundMe money. When I did a GoFundMe, Jamila asked me to do a GoFundMe and for her, so I did. And she is such a smart person, but she couldn't figure out how to get the money for her organization. And she kept asking me to get it. And I kept saying, like, no, I can't because I did it and you don't want me to be able to get it. So yeah. Okay. So that's what's going on in Vallejo right now, where it's going to be time to start working on the warming centers. Oh, well, what I'm doing is showing the documentary film that I showed you guys the preview about my brother's work. I showed it at Integrity. I did a daytime showing, and then I did a evening showing just this past Thursday. And people's questions I felt after the daytime showing, I felt like I really didn't want to even do a small casual event without having one of the lawyers there who could give definitive answers and who could do it with authority, who could, because when people start talking about how they're all into the money, that is incorrect, but I'm basically there as a peer, and I just need to be real careful how I come at people. I mean, basically, I feel when you're producing events, I feel that it is not, you shouldn't alienate anyone. You want everybody because it's about your event. So, the lawyer will be able to answer that, and because they're like not from people are going to listen they're not from the community, because I said to people, I was like, look, I have all the information, I could answer these questions, but so anyway, but then the one we had at Integrity this past Thursday night was kind of exhausting. I've been doing a round of events there for a couple months and probably going to give it a rest now. I'm going to be showing it at NAACP meeting. Ro, you got to be able to come to this. It's November 20th at the museum, at the Naval Historical Museum with NAACP. That's the one that my brother's gonna fly down for. So you got
What day is it?
November 20th. You got a little time.
Okay. You know my birthday's on the 21st.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I might be off. So that might work perfect.
Oh, okay. Well, that would be very cool. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's a Thursday night. So that's cool. If you take your birthday off, then you can.
That's probably what I'll do.
Awesome. Yeah, I'd be real excited for you to meet Matt. A lot of my friends are excited to meet him. And then also real happy. Well, I'm particularly happy because we're going to be able to do the show we're going to show it at the library. And basically, when you have the film isn't necessarily what you would want to be showing kids to educate them about this issue. My goal is getting the film to people that work with kids, to professionals and teachers and counselors, because it's information that they need to incorporate, information that they should have for their work, and also the best way to do it is for them to figure out how and which material to present to kids. So the library is going to be a family event though, and so that's different. And so it's not that kids aren't going to be at the film. It's just I'm not trying to take it to schools or anything. I want teachers to see the film and make decisions about what to bring for their classrooms. But um, it's going to be really cool to have the library show it because they're going to help promote it. I mean, it's going to give me a much bigger reach to have it part of the library programming. And from that, I'll simply schedule it at other libraries in this county, and I can do it in Seattle as well, where that's where the law firm is located, because the people that made the film are not I mean, most people don't really get how much you can do so far as a community screening that you just have a lot of choices for what you can do if you simply realize that you don't need to be a movie theater to show a film. So I'm hoping to get more people, people from the law firm to show it at the library. But so basically the film is mostly being shown. I think it's been shown at some PTA meetings or something, which is good, but a lot of the time a film like this just gets shown at film festivals as a documentary. So that's not necessarily the audience that doesn't necessarily have direct impact. And with this particular film, I'm only interested in direct impact. However, and we're going to show it in San Francisco too. I mean, there's a theater there that wants to show it. So that'll be fucking cool. Yeah. You want to take a break?
Let's do it.
Okay.
AnnA's Global History Radio, y'all. Let's do it.
Down in the deep dark ooze, darkness sticks to the edge of my shoes. So I stomp on a twisted fantasy inflicted as I traverse through society's sickness, trapped in a box alone. As we roam, discovering buried bones of a past that's never shown. Suicidal spirits etch, we fear it on their bloody skin, with a note to their mother, father, next of kin. This is a game we can never win. We're born to die, our brains are fried from sin. Addictive personality disorder. Personally, these pills keep me on the border between this world and the one to come. Who really knows, cause life's holding us ransom. So we'll never see above the clouds, lost in a haze, fists raised to the destructive crowd.
One, two, three, four, now.
Take the mental and put it down with a pencil. Carve out the story of your life to an instrumental. Listen to your heart and remember to stay gentle. We're only human and this life is only a rental. Take the mental and put it down with a pencil. Carve out the story of your life to an instrumental. Listen to your heart and remember to stay gentle. We're only human and this life is only a rental. Get you alive and spit you out. When hope arrives, I'll tell them what it's all about. This is the mentality we carry in our everyday. What can I say? We just don't talk about our inner ways. So we bottle it up and hold it in. Hold it so tight, our sanity is down to thin. But things will be all right, harmonize with the hymn. Believe that there's hope, even chances are slim. Disconnect from the ego, i.e. this is how we grow. The health of the mind is all that we want, but we just don't know how to speak out. Just seek out those that hold you down. You're pound for pound worthy of all the happiness to be found. You deserve to be happy and free. Down in the deep dark ooze, darkness sticks to the edge of my shoes. So I stomp on a twisted fantasy inflicted as I traverse through society's sickness, trapped in a box alone. As we roam, discovering buried bones of a past that's never shown. Suicidal spirits etch, we fear it on their bloody skin, with a note to their mother, father, next of kin. This is a game we can never win. We're born to die, our brains are fried from sin. Addictive personality disorder. Personally, these pills keep me on the border between this world and the one to come. Who really knows, cause life's holding us ransom. So we'll never see above the clouds, lost in a haze, fists raised to the destructive crowd.
One, two, three, four, now.
the mental and put it down with a pencil. Carve out the story of your life to an instrumental. Listen to your heart and remember to stay gentle. We're only human and this life is only a rental. Take the mental and put it down with a pencil. Carve out the story of your life to an instrumental. Listen to your heart and remember to stay gentle. We're only human and this life is only a rental. They're you alive and spit you out. When hope arrives, I'll tell them what it's all about. This is the mentality we carry in our everyday. What can I say? We just don't talk about our inner ways. So we bottle it up and hold it in. Hold it so tight, our sanity is down to thin. But things will be all right, harmonize with the hymn. Believe that there's hope, even chances are slim. Disconnect from the ego, i.e. this is how we grow. The health of the mind is all that we want, but we just don't know how to speak out. Just seek out those that hold you down. You're pound for pound worthy of all the happiness to be found. You deserve to be happy and free.
Yeah, shout out to Tifa. Tifa Love. Hope you get better. Heard you had surgery.
Oh, really? What's wrong?
I don't know what she had, but I seen her post.
Oh, well, surgery then. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just kind of leave it at that. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. So I was just watching some videos trying to get myself up to speed on Zoran Mamdani, the Democratic Socialist who it is believed is going to be the next mayor of New York. That is wild. When I first saw that he was running, I was like, oh yeah, you just don't think that. Well, I don't know. I guess non-mainstream people get elected as mayors somewhat, but I mean, New York City, that's like being governor of a state, pretty much, or I don't know. So he was, so he's run it. You know what? I can't figure out. So the current mayor is Eric Adams, who I don't know. I mean, I think people think that he's colluding with Trump. A lot of people think that. I mean, I've seen from some of what I'm seeing, it kind of does look that way, but I don't know. But anyway, so Mamdani won the primary, and so one of the candidates is Andrew Cuomo. And this is the sort of thing I fucking hate. He's the former governor who was the son of a governor. So to me, when you see somebody and so he needed to step down from being governor for sexual harassment. And so only a white man can resign in disgrace and then come back and run for office and nothing happened. They get their jobs back. So it's just fucked. It's just fucked up. And that, like, okay, dude, you had your chance, okay? You were governor, you needed to step down in disgrace, and now you're running for mayor of New York City because your last name is Cuomo. That's the reason. So I just was, and so Zoran Mamdani is Muslim. He was born in Uganda, and so people were criticizing him for putting down on a form that he was African American. But he was born in Uganda and he lives, I mean, it sort of just goes to how crazy all these labels and how crazy all this stuff can get. But he had some good comebacks to Cuomo. And because Cuomo was saying, oh, and Mamdani's a state assemblyman. So Mamdani was talking about Cuomo was talking about Mamdani not having experience, and Mamdani said, "Well, if he, I did," and Mamdani says, "I didn't resign in disgrace," or something, and yeah. Yeah, so that was good. I mean, I guess especially being a New Yorker, he's gonna give it to him. There's a crowd. So he's a democratic socialist, which means he's a burn dog follower or whatever. But I'm whatever. That I just kind of accept the fact that this is whatever. It's that generation, and a lot of people are excited about him. I mean, he has a lot of youth supporting him. And I kind of think that if the way for people to get more involved is for somebody uh, like that in itself doesn't make me support somebody. But when you see somebody who's capable of getting that many people involved, and he is so then there was somebody people saying he's like from an unrealistic pampered background, and I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, I mean, he's a brown man, he's dealt with all of that. The heritage Indians in Uganda were expelled, and but I mean, the other thing that's so fucking stupid is his dad is a professor and his mom is an independent filmmaker. I mean, that is hardly, I mean, Bill Gates type territory. Um, he's gotten, and so some of the criticism is that 5 years ago he was saying defund the police. What the fuck? Everybody was saying that 5 years ago. And a big issue is that there's people that think he's anti-Semitic, or that say he's anti-Semitic, and because of the issue of Zionists believing that certain terminology is anti-Semitic. They say that if anybody says the phrase "from the river to the sea," that it's anti-Semitic. That was the creed of one of the Palestinian rebel groups, which says, "From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free." I think you need to look at what the words actually say, because, okay, yeah, it was in the Hamas charter, and so that, but they say this. It's sort of like they try and say that people are anti-Semitic because they spent time with Louis Farrakhan, and so I mean, I don't think, and if you're just saying, I mean, it's like they don't want to accept that Palestinians are an oppressed people. And when they say the river to the sea, that's it. That's what they're saying. They're saying they want their freedom. And the fact that the people that originally wrote that stage came up with that phrase, wanted to wipe out the Jews, and the fact that Hamas wants to wipe out the Jews doesn't mean that everybody that uses that phrase feels that way. So if you just I mean, if you're set on certain things, meaning on certain interpretations, so you know, he said he does not use, people want him to condemn the phrase from the river to the sea. And he's not going to, that's one of the issues people have. He should condemn the phrase from the river to the sea. And the other problem for them is that a lot of Jews support him. And I saw him get pretty emotional when he was called anti-Semitic. I mean, for a couple of reasons. I mean, as a Muslim in the United States, he gets death threats all the time. I mean, you can't say with somebody that somebody like him is, you've got to point that out, but he's a millennial, that he was born and raised in New York City. His generation simply, for the most part, looks at Israel very differently than older generations. He has a lot of Jewish friends and peers because that's what New York City is like. It's so diverse. And his sentiments about the state of Israel are shared by many Jews. Okay. I very rarely engage in any of this, but I was trying to have this conversation about it within a different topic. And I said, like, and I said that, okay, there's, what I've said before, there's people that think it's anti-Semitic to say that Israel is an apartheid state. There's Israelis that think Israel is an apartheid state. There's Holocaust survivors who think Israel is an apartheid state. So somebody was trying to have a conversation about it. Was like, oh, well, those Holocaust supporters get it wrong all the time. Like, okay, you're gonna tell a Holocaust survivor that your view is more important than theirs, that you're going to tell people that lived through concentration camps that they don't know what's anti-Semitic and what isn't. So yeah, my brother doesn't like Mamdani, but he doesn't, I mean, he lives in New York part-time, but he's not going to vote there. His girlfriend likes him. So I mean, I think it'll be interesting. I mean, I think it's going to be cool for people to need to deal with it. And like, people are saying that he's like a socialist because he wants to set up some government-run grocery stores in areas that are food deprived. And so my question would be, is he really talking about government-run grocery stores, or is he talking about food distribution network? I mean, you can, there's food. So yeah, I would be curious about that. But the Democrats want somebody new. And, I sure as fuck don't like the fact that Mamdani is into the trans bullshit cult. But again, he's young. And I was talking with my brother about Mamdani, and I had pretty much the same conversation with him. I just said, I mean, I just don't believe that a born and raised New Yorker, progressive New Yorker of his age is anti-Semitic, I think. Yeah. Okay, so that's Mamdani. Okay, this was, okay, so we haven't talked for a while about the return of antiquities, and I should get some more stuff prepared for next week. That was a big thing we talk about all the time, huh?
Yeah, yep.
Okay, but the country of Niger had a meteorite from Mars in their desert. I mean, how the fuck did they figure that? It's from Mars, and somebody took it. It was sold at auction, a piece of Mars. I mean, I'm like, they can't just they can't just steal from the artisans and ancient people. They're going to steal from, but also I'm like, man, what is cool? Like, just wait for something from Mars to land in your country. I mean, I guess they have ways to figure that out, but that is wild. I mean, does it just like separate? I wonder how long it takes it to get to the Earth from Mars. Well, it's a good thing nobody was under it too, because that
Well,
would.
when they show it, I seen something. I don't know if it was the same thing, but I seen when meteors come down. It looked like they come down pretty fast.
Mm-hmm.
So
Um.
they ain't slow.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They're not. Oh boy, that was lovely Pippin just calling me, Lady. I'm trying. It was weird because I mean my stomach is kind of in knots. I'm like, there's been too many, but I'm like, okay, because I don't think any, but anyway, so that's what happened with Mars. I watched a documentary about the Ed Sullivan Show. Did your parents watch it?
I don't know. I'd have to ask them. When I was over there, they weren't watching it.
No, I
Did they
don't mean
come on?
now. I mean, he went off air in like the 70s or
I'm
the,
sure they did, but
yeah.
I never just asked
Well,
them.
it was a show about, because basically well, they must have, because, because back then there was just a couple, there was just a couple, um, stations, and Um, so everybody watched the same thing. He was the one that put where a lot of Black musicians got their first exposure. So it was a documentary on Netflix. I mean, like, he had the Jackson Five, he had Gladys Knight, he had everybody, he had Moms Mabley. There was just this. So when you see a documentary like that, it's pretty cool because you're getting it's another one where it's kind of like a history course in musicians. Pretty much everybody that went on to success had been on the Ed Sullivan Show. The Sly and the Family Stone, and that was also where Elvis, the Beatles, just everybody. And so it was like he was the first person, like I said, I mean, to put include black people in his show as like in that era. I mean, there were people, it was a big deal to people that he'd like come out and shake hands with the presenters and all of that. But he never, I find people like that remarkable because, or just, I think things like that are so important because he never, he just did it. He did it without talking, without making a big deal. And if you, music brings people together. And, there were people that felt like once they got the call from Ed Sullivan, it meant they were going to be seen. And since people had three different choices of what to watch on TV, they would automatically get exposure. Like going on the Ed Sullivan Show would mean the difference between obscurity and fame. I think the only thing like that now, like if you like now, I mean, if you perform at the Super Bowl or something, that can do it. But there's just so many different avenues now, and so much, it's just culture just doesn't work the same way. So it was pretty cool. I mean, he had classical people too. I was going down the list of performers. It was definitely everybody I've ever heard of. And people that I hadn't heard of. So yeah. So do you want to watch 10 minutes? You know how we were watching Mehdi Hassan from Jubilee?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, let me share the screen.
And you are host.
All right.
The civilized Indian.
So-called innocent Palestinians. You don't think Palestinians are innocent?
Not all of them.
Because what about the 17,000 children who were killed?
They're doing the
17,000 children were killed. Were they not innocent? Were they not innocent?
Who's responsible for that?
Israel.
No, Hamas is responsible. Hamas is responsible for hiding in hospitals and making tunnels underneath.
So when children are shot in the head by Israeli snipers not responsible for that?
Look,
it's a simple question.
Here's the problem.
When Israeli snipers shoot Palestinian children in Gaza in the head, as eyewitness testimony and doctors' testimony proves, that's not the fault of the Israeli snipers.
This is the problem. Because when you have
the problem is you won't answer the question. I'll ask you a third time. When Israeli snipers shoot Palestinian children in the head, is that not the fault of Israeli snipers?
Well, you gotta let me finish.
No, you gotta answer the question. Fourth time.
Well,
when Israeli
I will
snipers
get to
shoot
your
Palestinian
answer.
children in the
I
head.
will get to your
You're running
answer.
out of time. I need to know what you think about innocent children.
I
Because
will
what
get
you
to-
said was pretty outrageous. You said
I will
so-called
get to your answer.
innocent Palestinians. For the fifth time, when Palestinian children are shot in the head by Israeli snipers, is that not the fault of Israeli
What did those
snipers?
children do?
What did
they
you
do?
tell me? Did the children deserve to be shot in the head?
Because the problem is
You know
over there,
millions of people are watching you say
they
you're
start
justifying
brainwashing
killing
children. They start brainwashing children at a very young age.
So you support sniping children in Gaza?
Look,
do other people here support sniping children in Gaza? Is that a conservative position now?
What if they're wearing a suicide vest?
They weren't.
Well, what if they are?
They're not though.
What if they are?
I have friends who went there, doctors went to
what
Gaza,
if-
American doctors. They came back as we were multiple children.
What if
with
they're
gun
hell
nut
bent?
guns.
What if they're hell
What if
bent
they're
on
not?
killing you and your family?
A 10-year-old child, an 8-year-old child, a 6-year-old child.
Because
This is
like I
bad
said,
for you.
like you
You're
said,
sitting on
they're
live
brainwashing
television.
them.
Where millions of people are going to see your neighbors, your
Because
friends. You
millions of
support
people,
the killing of
millions
children.
of people don't know what's going on.
Even your fellow right wingers are saying, "Don't go this far." %. Wow. And if that autocrat kills you and your family, you're fine with that.
Well, I'm not going to be a part of the group that he kills because that's the whole thing.
How do you know?
Carl Schmitt
Autocrats tend to kill everyone.
Carl
even
Schmitt makes
supporters.
this point very well in his work. It's the friend-enemy distinction, right? You
Carl
liberals-
Schmitt, the
you-
Nazi theoretician.
Yeah, absolutely, I don't care.
Are you a
Who
fan of
ca-
the Nazis?
I don't. I frankly don't care being called a Nazi.
I
at
didn't
all.
say that. I
Doesn't
didn't actually
matter to
say
me.
that. I said, are you a fan of the Nazis?
Well, they persecuted the church a little bit. I'm not a fan of that. But
What about the
you know,
persecution of the Jews?
well, I mean, I certainly don't support anyone's human dignity being assaulted. I'm a Catholic.
But
And
you
so
don't condemn Nazi persecution of the Jews.
I think that there was a little bit of persecution and stuff like that, which is bad. But,
Because you're a little bit more than a far right Republican.
hey, what can I say?
I think you can say I'm a fascist.
Yeah, I am. Absolutely.
I'm just checking who's clapping just to get my set of where everyone is on this. Because you know that millions of people are going to be watching you on YouTube and checking out
Yeah,
who the fascists and the
absolutely.
Nazis are.
I'm not ashamed of that whatsoever.
No, clearly you're not.
First of all, I really thought that obviously where we started, where it ended up, there's a lot of aggression. I can see in your eyes, there's a level of exhaustion from being here. This is where my empathy comes in. Where it doesn't is, when you have a room full of people that do agree with you, we have this opportunity to come together and you're kind of mocking people when they do. So you mocked Sarah a little bit when you guys clearly had a common interest and goal to reach. So I can tell you're agitated. I want to bring that all down. Please.
I'm guessing you're not going to, but let's see.
No, I'm going to. I do want to point out some contradictions. First and foremost, I don't believe you're pro-American in the value system that you claim to uphold, especially with free speech, if you're not willing to debate people that don't share your values. That's very un-American.
Donald Trump's plan for Gaza is ethnic cleansing.
I don't believe it's ethnic cleansing, because it's not his plan.
It is his plan. He said it's my plan.
No, he's
Benjamin Netanyahu called it his plan.
He is obeying someone else's plan.
Okay. Who is he obeying?
He is obeying Israel's plan
Okay.
for the Greater Israel Project, of which this is one of those things that we can agree on.
Why is he doing it?
Why is he doing that?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they have something on him. Maybe they have something on all of
But you think it's a bad thing what he's doing?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
no,
Glad
that's
to
why.
agree with you.
But see, I don't want to shut down the
I'm agreeing
conversation.
with you.
Okay, perfect. But I want to take this opportunity because I don't know if I'm going to get the opportunity again to say, you're not American. First and foremost, you're not.
Remember what I said? The agitation from you is not going to be lower.
What I'm saying.
You claim to lower the temperature and then make racist remarks. You know that's a racist remark.
It's not racist.
You tell an American citizen.
But okay, perfect. You just proved your own point.
What?
You just said that was a racist position. Earlier, you argued this contention that America has no race. It's a bunch of immigrants that culminate together into
America has no race.
You inferred it. You absolutely did. So now you're saying it's racist for me to take an American nationalist approach. You're kind of
an American national approach. Is that a white approach?
I think it's a white nativist approach. Of course,
only Americans are white.
Why did your parents immigrate?
Americans are only white people.
Why did your parents immigrate from India to the UK?
Because the UK colonized and conquered India.
Okay, why did you immigrate to America?
Because many reasons.
Okay, all opportunity. There's opportunity.
That's not true. You don't know.
The accent. Your accent is an afflict of white Anglo-Saxon.
You know there are 50 million Americans in this country.
I understand, but
none of them are Americans in your view.
What I'm trying to get you to do to reach a common ground here.
We're not going to reach a common ground because you said I'm not American.
Please try.
I don't think you're American.
I'm saying you're
I
not.
don't think you're American.
I'm saying you're not American due to values.
I don't think you're not American on values either. I think you're a little fascisty, a little racisty.
See, you're using these words. Okay, first of all, I want to say that
it's not just throwing at you.
You didn't
come sit down. I said it.
Every conservative that has ever been shut down by leftists like you, for every conservative, for
you're
every
not a conservative. You've already said
for every right wing,
said you're
for
not
every Stefan Molyneux, Thomas Sowell, Nick Fuentes, all of those people.
Is Thomas Sowell?
He's Australian. But that's not the point. I'm saying people that are on our side of the aisle that get shut down by people like you because you're leveraging this position of emotion.
You're joking, right?
No, I'm not. You're leveraging a position of emotion.
My side of the aisle is trying to deport you. The only shutting down is being done by you.
That's actually
the only shutting down is being
my
done by
entire
you.
race. So what are you talking about?
What are you talking about? You're a white genocide guy?
Are you kidding me?
Wow.
You know the fact you're
I'm amazed that Jubilee find some of you guys. How do they find you?
Do you see
Did they email you? Do you have Gmail?
Why are you trying to oust me? This
you
is such a cheap tactic.
You go to Nordstrom.
No,
all immigrants. Have you ever been on eBay?
No, but
you love immigrants.
No,
you love immigrants when they're helping you. You just don't like the color of my skin.
We're having a different conversation.
Genocide.
Pause. All right, you've been voted out. Please return to your seat.
Okay. I really wish we could have.
I mean, you believe in white genocide, so it's very hard to. I'm an immigrant and an American, and I employ many American citizens, both naturalized and the ones born here. I employ
my parents came
as defined by you.
My parents came as immigrants to become naturalized, so I'm not necessarily opposed to immigrants.
So you're the child of immigrants.
Correct. I'm a child of immigrants. I was
But you don't accept that immigrants are Americans.
Not at this moment.
So your parents are not Americans.
Not at this moment.
Hold on, your parents
they're
are Americans.
citizens. They became naturalized.
You just said you can't be citizens by being naturalized.
No, I was born here, and I'm not opposed
you're born
to
here,
naturalization.
right?
I never said that I'm against naturalization.
Are you against naturalization?
No, I never said I was against naturalization.
You began. Everyone was here. They can play it back on YouTube. You said Americans or immigrants. Are your parents Americans or immigrants?
No, my parents are United States citizens.
They're immigrants. You said.
No, they came here as immigrants. However, but
so they
I
are
want to make the
immigrants.
claim
You said,
we can.
I came here as an immigrant. I'm an immigrant.
At this point, when they came, the United
People aren't
States
happy with the way this is going for you.
The United States economy was not at.
It's better now. The American economy is better than it's been for many years, and I can say that as someone who doesn't like Donald Trump.
We're
But
giving
statistics
billions
you
and
see.
billions of dollars to
Statistics you see.
minorities as well as
The reason the economy is doing badly now is Donald Trump's parent policy.
We can't
Nothing
even
to do with migrants.
businesses.
In fact, the
They can't
congressional.
start businesses.
I'm an immigrant. I started a business.
No, I understand because the
immigrants
SBA is
are
giving people
immigrants.
billions
I
of
didn't
loans.
take any
They're
loans
giving
from
them
SBA.
billions.
I didn't take any loans from
So you
SBA.
did, but
Okay, well, I'm saying I did.
statistically speaking, they're giving billions of.
So should we do statistics? According to statistics, immigrants are 80% more likely to be entrepreneurs than native-born Americans. They're more likely to start businesses and hire Americans.
No, I'm aware of
Like,
that.
immigrants
but
are more likely
also-
to pay in taxes than
Yeah.
take out in benefits. They're more likely to add to innovation and jobs and wages. This is what the statistics show. The Congressional
Yeah,
Budget
I
Office.
understand- I
Can you just finish
understand
my point and let you come back
Okay,
in?
go ahead.
Congressional Budget Office, which is bipartisan, Republicans and Democrats both use it. They have said that the immigration surge that you mentioned will lead to an extra $9 trillion of GDP over the next 10 years. That amounts to $65,000 per American household. That's $65,000 for each and every one of you holding up a red flag.
Okay, I understand that, but pause, you've been voted out by the majority. Please return to your seat.
speaking.
Nice speaking, thank you.
I'm saying that Donald Trump was friends with Ghislaine Maxwell, when Ghislaine Maxwell, who's the worst child sex trafficker of our lifetime, she's serving over 20 years. Do you know Ghislaine Maxwell?
She's actually not. Jeffrey Epstein was the worst sex
He's dead. I'm talking about people alive right now.
It's interesting though, you didn't use his name, right? Wouldn't he be the one who did this?
Oh, great. I'm glad you brought up Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein, before he died, did an interview with Michael Wolff. He's on tape. I don't know if you heard the tape. He says, my closest friend was Donald Trump. I was his closest friend. Elon Musk, I'm not sure if you've heard of him. He tweeted recently that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files. And Ghislaine Maxwell, who was the right-hand woman of Jeffrey Epstein, when she was on trial for child sex offending, which you and I are opposed to, Donald Trump stood up and said, good luck to her, I wish her well. So yeah, that makes him pro-crime and pro-criminal if he's being soft on child sex
Well, you
traffickers
just said they
like
were his
Epstein.
friends. He's
No, I'm saying he was friends. He was friends with Epstein. You haven't seen the videos? They danced together, partied together. Epstein said I was his closest friend.
He's not supportive of the pedophilia part. The only people
Actually, that's not true. Trump gave a speech about 20 years ago where he said, Epstein's a great guy. He loves young women. A lot of them are very young. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink, laugh, laugh. So yeah, I think he's pro-crime and pro-criminal.
So you
and I think he's soft
for
on
having a
sex
friend
offenders.
do you have any friends who are criminals?
Not that I know of. Certainly not child sex offenders. No, do you?
If it came, no, of course not.
Okay, so we're both in agreement again.
If it
Why are you
came out
defending
tomorrow
Donald Trump?
if it came out tomorrow that one of your friends is a child sex
You know what
trafficker,
I'd do?
you'd stop being friends with them.
Yes.
Yeah,
And I
but-
wouldn't say,
and then I'd go on TV and I would say, oh, look, Mr. Hassan was friends with this guy 10 years ago. Therefore, he's
what if
pro-child
Mr.
sex
Hassan said, I wish them well when they're on trial? Wouldn't you ever go at me for
You
that?
wish your friend
Wouldn't you
well
have-
on trial?
Yeah, child sex trafficker. Would
I
you mean
probably-
that?
I wouldn't wish someone well, but that's
Donald
your
Trump
gotcha.
did.
That's your gotcha.
Ooh, that was good.
Yeah. Okay, this is
Casting their ballot in the 1858 Illinois.
okay. I always forget it's on top. It's not right there. Yeah. He is so fucking good, man. He is so smart. Like, yeah, he came. I mean, I think he's like, only one person lost his job there. He's like, he's like, when he points out to people that they're on live TV, I mean,
Oh, he's trying to warn them in advance. If you get too crazy with it, just remember where you at.
exactly.
If you have a good job or something, hey, it might.
Only one person. See, they feel like they can say stuff like that now.
That's what social media does to everybody until they
Yeah.
get back home and everybody been seeing it. And what's sad is if they worked with some people who were of color or whatever, or that's just bad, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think about Newsom?
Oh, fuck him.
You really don't? I like that he's kind of fighting back a little bit. It's about time someone fought back.
See, what does he have to lose?
He doesn't have much to lose, but
Exactly. So who gives a shit?
Democrats, they need to learn to fight back a little bit. And I hate to say it, sometimes they gotta fight fire with fire, and I like that he's doing it, whether he has to lose or not. I give him props for that.
You need if you're fighting, the problem I have is that I think they're just fighting to fight, and that they don't have a goal. And
Well, I think it's a fair fight. They sit in Texas. They're trying to remap it to make it easier for the Republicans, and I think he's kind of fighting fire with fire. He's trying to do the same thing with California. I think it's
the
fair.
Democrats have done the same thing with redistricting. See, I was listening to a segment about that, and again, I listen to conservative media to try and get their perspective, because I want to get their perspective since I hear so much. Like they were pointing out that if you, like, in a way, liberals aren't, uh, shit, it had to do with the number of members of Congress. And so they were comparing like the numbers of people that, the percentages of people that voted for Trump in California, alongside the number of congressional seats, and they're not represented. So, but I see what I hate about the redistricting thing is that, I mean, those fights, it's the burn dog mode when you of when you're losing, of saying it's not fair. Because if what they should be able to do, like, okay, if you think you're right, why don't you go to those districts and get people to vote for you? That's what they should do.
I get that in some ways, but I kind of feel that the Republicans kind of do it in a way that I think the Democrats always try to do it in this way of being honorable and being fair with it. And I think sometimes, I hate to say it, and I think it's one of them occasions, sometimes you just gotta fight fire with fire. You gotta do what they do. And I think hey, it might show a little something. I'm with it. I want to see what happens.
Well, there's not, I mean, yeah, I mean, I just think, I think it's just such a coward. I just think it's like, okay, I don't really think, I don't like it when people don't have confidence, I mean, in yourself. Okay. If you think you're right, okay, if you think you're right, if you have something that you think is a good idea, why wouldn't you go talk to people about it?
Well, I think nowadays, I think being right isn't always right, and I don't think it always works.
But why can't they just go to those districts and campaign and get people to vote for them? Because
I used to say that about Trump. Why don't Trump campaign more? If he wanted more votes in California, why don't you campaign more in California?
he doesn't need them.
Well, he felt he doesn't need them, but when he lost his first one, but you see what I'm saying? Like it still goes both ways. They both, if they both want votes, go to the place where you want the most votes. Then why don't you both go? But neither side really does that. They cater more towards their side. They
Well,
all
yeah,
do that.
to an extent. Well, that's why they have, like, no, it's not even worth it. It's not the same way like Democrats don't spend money, like they're not going to spend money going to a totally red state. So yeah, I mean, it wouldn't make sense for a Republican candidate to go campaign in
And so
California.
why would Trump and them decide to redistrict? Why are they trying to redistrict Texas then? Why don't they try to get more votes? Like you said, go out and try to get the more votes. Why redistrict everything to fit, make it better for you?
Well, yeah, I mean, I feel that, yeah, I do feel that way. I do feel
So
that.
sometimes you got to fight fire with fire. I hate to say it. And this is like the times now. It seems like trying to be fair. I hate to say it. It's hard being fair to win. And I hate to say it.
You really you just have a higher opinion of Democrats than I do.
I get your point on it. I mean, I get your point. I'm just going by also what I've seen. To me, it just seems like Trump can go and do everything. But when other people do it, it's different. It's like it's not the same. He's doing exactly what this is spawned because the Republicans did this in Texas. It's not like he started out saying, I'm going to redistrict California. He's doing it because Texas did it. So what is he supposed to do? I mean, what is supposed to do? You're supposed to just let this guy keep doing whatever he wants, then you guys never do anything? They got to stand up somehow.
I've even seen the Texas thing explained in a way that makes sense so far as not being representative. If you look at like how Austin is, which was blue, and so I mean that part's basically, I mean, they're both saying that it's not fair and that people aren't being represented. They're both saying that. So yeah, my answer is the same to both of them. I mean, they're talking about yeah, and I mean it makes sense because they're doing it for congressional seats, and so it does make a difference. I mean, that's where and when members of Congress can make local politics. So yeah, it wouldn't have been worth his time to come campaign for president in California. But if they're trying, if in Congress, I mean, every Congress member on your side can, I mean, that's why I mean, 2020 was a census year, and I knew a lot of people that were working on the census, and it was hard is because it was COVID. So that's always what they're saying, is so important about answering the census, is that it's how the congressional districts are drawn. So, but yeah, I mean, I think, and I mean, I cannot. Newsom signed a bill specially to put men in women's prisons. And so, yeah. And when people ask him, he acted like he was making some huge concession by saying that there was fairness issues with boys and girls sports. And then he goes like, well, but there's no better friend to the LGBT whatever community than me. He's like, fuck you. Don't make it seem like you're not. Oh yeah, I talked about that before. And so yeah, I mean, if you're willing to make the most vulnerable population of all even more vulnerable, then yeah. So when it comes to things like redistricting, to me, I mean, that's just something where he's just doing it to look good so he can run for president. I think I don't like fighting just to fight. I mean, I think there needs to be a purpose. And so I mean, it's the same reason I don't like Cory Booker. I mean, he was on he threw a tantrum on the Senate floor. He was trying to obstruct bipartisan legislation, and Amy Klobuchar from Minnesota, who I like, was Democrat. She called him out by name. So talking about it. But a fucking grown-up would have just moved on. I mean, and he's like, well, my name was mentioned, I gotta stop. And so he went off on this he was just on this fucking rant about all these terrible things are happening, and we can't act like business as usual. We need to fight. Okay, so what the fuck are you doing by not letting bipartisan legislation go through? I mean, like, okay, if you're in a fight with somebody, I mean, if I'm in a fight with somebody that's trying to attack me, it is a fight to get away. A fight should have a purpose. If you're gonna we're having a fight, right, like with the bouncy house thing. I mean, I figured out, I mean, it's what I learned to do from my dad is like, you isolate, you pick an issue and figure out how to do it and figure out reasons for people to agree with you, which is what I did. And now, the person just calling me is somebody I'm going to need to try and talk to about the issue. And I'm annoyed that my stomach is in knots because I hate that feeling. And I wish I didn't. I'm like, what the fuck do I care talking to her? But But yeah, I mean, okay, so this is a dispute and I have a goal. So that's I was watching so I just try and watch different I was just watching different coverage of immigration. I posted a I found a segment that I thought was really balanced, and I posted it in this community I'm in because I was like, okay, this doesn't seem it was on the border, because people stopped crossing the border when Trump became president. They just stopped. So then I was watching a segment where they're trying to track the ice planes, and so they blur out the numbers so they can't be tracked. And so they figured out somehow which plane was they thought was carrying ice detainees, and it flew around the United States for 20 hours, like picking up people and then going someplace. But I mean, I think that well, we can get to Zelensky and Putin. Zelensky has been fighting Russia for 3 years, and he says he's going to keep fighting. um I now have a real issue with Zelensky having not held elections for 3 years. How do we know? We don't know whether people we don't know how citizens feel about this war that they can't win, dragging on for 3 years. So yeah, I think he needs to accept that he can't win. And um, even how Trump and Putin met in Alaska, and then um and then Trump went back to Washington D.C. and Zelensky's flying in there with other Europeans. And so yeah, I think he needs to figure something out, and that your people are dying, your country's being destroyed. um who like to me he's just it to me now he's in it for himself.
I think he doesn't want to give up his country to Russia. I would understand that.
Well, yeah, but they're talking. I mean, he's not going to give up the country, he's going to give up portions of it.
Yeah, but I think sometimes there's more of a bigger stand to it.
Well, of course it
I
is.
kind of feel that if he did give it up, it would lead to him giving up more, or maybe almost it. I don't know. I think it would be. I don't know. That's just. I don't know. That would be like us giving up a portion of the United States.
But he can't win. He can't.
He gonna keep fighting until he can't win, until he just can't. I mean, I don't know, man. I wouldn't want to give up. I'm not gonna give up. I'm just that type of person. I can't just give up. So I get his side of it as a person. I get it.
But what if you just like, if you knew you couldn't win, you'd keep fighting?
Well, I think for a fact that he might have some backup that he does. He is getting weapons sent to him. He is getting help.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel that he knows he gets help. I think he knows. So I mean, until it gets to a point to where he's really desolate and really can't do nothing, I don't think he's gonna give it up, and I wouldn't either.
I think he needs to hold a fucking election and find out how citizens feel about it. So that's what's really making me um I don't know, because if I were
I mean, think about it. If it was the other way around, you think Putin's gonna give it up? No.
well, he has like his country's like 10 times bigger.
I get that, but I'm saying if it was the other way around, I still don't think he would
But it
just give up his
isn't, but
country.
it isn't the other way around, because Putin's country is so much bigger and more powerful and has so much more weapons.
I get your point, but I still think as a person he wouldn't give it up, even if they didn't. I think what it is sometimes, I think there's different people. I think there are some people who try to fight and they'd rather fight as much as they can fight. And then there's some people who may just give up. I don't know. But I think some people do legitimately want to fight for their country and fight for the situation.
But if your country's being killed off, I mean, if nobody in your country can have a life, if you're
I mean, how do you know they're going to still have much of a life if it's taken over by Russia?
well, because that's where you make a deal. One of the things they're talking about is the possibility of Ukraine becoming part of NATO if they concede some of their land to Russia. So that would make it very different for them being part of NATO. I think when it comes to something like this, I think you need to, um, all of that, you need to go step by step. And when if you're trying to negotiate for peace, keeping the peace is part of that negotiation. And so you need to strike a very good deal. And, I mean, he's kept going all these years, but who the fuck, but we don't even know. We don't even know. There's been no fucking elections. That's just, what if people want their lives back? What if people know that their country can't win? I wouldn't want it.
I get your point on it, but I don't know how good it would be to be able to have elections when you're in the middle of a war. So,
but that's how people have the same governments for 10 years. That's how Laurent Kabila and Yoweri Museveni, I mean, that's how dictators stay in power.
I don't see what you're gonna do when a country's all frantic and already in a war situation. That's kind of a hard thing to try to have an election in the middle of a
It's
war.
all the more reason to do it, because if you're trying to protect if you're saying your country's a democracy and you don't want to join Russia, you're really kind of, and you don't allow an election, you're really not that democratic either.
So you're telling me while your country is being bombed, you're gonna have time to make an election instead of you trying to work out a way to stop the war, which is what he's actually doing? You think he should have an election in the middle of all this?
Yeah, because
That's crazy.
no, it isn't. I mean, it's
What
all.
country has had an election in the middle of a war? Nobody.
I don't think I mean,
none of them have.
I don't think. Well, we don't know that because
that's I'm telling you, I'm willing to bet you no country has had an election in the middle of a war. I'm willing to bet you that.
Kind of an honestly, it's to me that's kind of an impossible question, because there's there's countries that are battling insurgencies all the time. Look, hey, the United States was at war in Afghanistan for 18 years with no and
Yeah, but I'm not talking about us being in Afghanistan. I'm talking about like his country, like you said, technically his country needs help. It's not like his country can sit there and manage doing an election right now.
Sure they
I just
can.
don't see that they can. I
I
don't
don't
see how
see
that
why
can
not.
be.
I mean, I mean, they need they've kept the country functioning so far as like delivering mail I mean, just countries do keep functioning during war. I mean,
Yeah, but an
so
election? That's kind of what it how is okay then how would he like present himself? Like, I mean, when you usually
he's
do
presenting
elections,
himself every day. He's on TV and all that. All
for a war, but I'm saying like if he was gonna go to each of the areas in his country, how is he gonna do that during war? I mean, how would they all the candidates I
you'd
don't
have
understand
to
how they
do
could do that during the war.
You'd have to do it do it in a different way, but I sure as fuck wouldn't be satisfied if I were Ukrainian, because like they're stuck with how he is gonna do stuff. And what if they want another leader? What if they?
I mean, maybe after the war is over, they can have a thing. But how are you going to do it during war?
I mean, Zelensky's. I mean, that's like Netanyahu is using the war to stay in office.
I don't know, but
And
I think
people,
areas like Israel is different. They're a little bigger, and they're. I mean, I don't know, man. If you're a country that's pretty much losing, I don't think you have time to do an election, man. That's a little bit on a different side.
well, it would be
That would be like Trump trying to do an election. I mean, there would be no reason for him, even if we were in war, because war tends to never come to our land like that. So even if he did do an election, it wouldn't bother him. But he literally has war
how
in
can
his
you
land,
keep? I mean, how
Ukraine.
can you keep people at? I mean, the people have no voice about whether the war is going to what's going to happen. Like in Israel has there's demonstrations of like 100,000 people are out demonstrating for an election to be called because they want Netanyahu out.
Yeah, but Israel is different than Ukraine in the sense of Ukraine is the one that the country's actually being taken over. Ukraine is the one that really needs help. So to me, I don't see how the
Well,
leader of
that's not how Israelis feel. I mean, they're being bombed. They had the October 7th massacre. I mean,
but Israel's getting help. They're getting a lot of help, right?
Yeah, but so's Ukraine. I mean,
Yeah, but you're really gonna say you think that Israel is being taken over like Ukraine is?
no, it's a completely different situation. But
That's what I'm trying to
you're
say. It's
saying that
different.
no,
Ukraine is like
but
in the
they're
middle of
being
being taken over.
well, Israel's being bombed, and they have they're hostages.
And so you're saying Israel's doing they're right now they're in the middle of an election for a new leader?
They're trying to, yeah, because they're demonstrating for an election.
Well, they're
But let me finish
demonstrating.
what I'm they're demonstrating for an election because they want the war to end.
But see,
And they
that's
want Netanyahu out.
and I kind of get that, but until the war, it's probably not going to happen for an election until the war's either calmed down or close to being over. How are they? I mean, I just don't see
And
that.
that's why Netanyahu is keeping the war going because he doesn't want an election to be go
And that's kind of what I'm trying to get at is
And
you
what
said
about
Ukraine.
Zelensky?
You said Ukraine should go ahead and elect a new leader or have an election. How are they going to have an election with a war going on?
Same way they do anything with a war going on. I mean,
I would like to see one country in the middle of a war having an election. I just have never heard of that.
well, I mean, I think we need to, um, I mean, that is just, we're looking at, I mean, to me, that doesn't seem, the country still functions. I mean, there's still, so yeah, I mean, it would be different than other elections, but people have like the Israelis believe that the push to call an election and get Netanyahu out is led by families of hostages that are still held in Gaza. They believe that Netanyahu could have gotten is keeping the war going, and that he is keeping the war going, which means that their relatives are still being held hostage, and that they believe that Netanyahu is keeping the war going because he wants to remain in power. So here you have people that have had their family members kidnapped, that want a voice in their government. You're looking at, and you look at Ukraine, you're going to be looking at people whose kids have died, whose families are not having a chance to do anything, to have a life. Yeah, they should have a voice. They should have a vote. Otherwise, you'll all dictators stay in power by saying it's too dangerous to have an election. That's what they do.
I don't know, man. I think in Ukraine, it's definitely too dangerous. If they're already taking
What
over,
do you think would happen?
taking over parts of their places. I don't even know how they can even have an election with all that going on.
I mean, it could all be done on, people that aren't, I mean, Zelensky's speaking to people every day. He has a platform, and so people that want to run against him we should see whether he lets anybody run against him. See, I think he might just be turning into a little dictator himself.
I don't know. I disagree. I think his state, his situation, they in a bad state, Ukraine. So
So if you see,
I think he would look worse leaving than he would staying.
so
I
if
hate to.
so if this war goes on for another 5 years, do you think would that be okay with you, with no election?
Well, I'm hoping that no war will last 5 years, but if it's going on for that long, for 5 years, and literally Russia is taking over Ukraine little by little, hey, I don't see how they would have time to have an election, even if they should have an election. I'm going to be honest.
That means basically that Ukrainians are going to be stuck with a lifetime dictator, same as Russians.
I guess so. I'll tell you what. I bet you Putin, if it was on Putin's side, I bet you he wouldn't quit. He wouldn't let it happen.
He already hasn't. I mean, he already hasn't. We know that. I mean, he's
So
already been in office for like 20 years with no intention of leaving. So, yeah, but you can't, it's like that discussion we had about the if I can't win in a situation, like if somebody with a weapon is trying to,
but how do you know they really can't win?
because of the size of the countries, because Putin has an unlimited, because Russia is so huge, he has an unlimited, he
So
can
if
never
Ukraine
run out
gets
of
help,
soldiers.
if
Pardon?
Ukraine gets enough help, you don't think Ukraine has a chance?
Well, they can't get more bodies in there to die unless I mean, there could, unless there's mercenaries. I just think the size of the country. Yeah.
All right, we'll see. I just don't believe in giving up. I'm sorry. That's just my thing. I can't see it. I can't see it. I understand where he's coming from. I know Putin would do the same if he was in the same position. I know every other leader probably would. And to have an election in the middle of a war is just crazy to me. I don't think that can even be possible.
I guess you like the shit. That's how, that's how.
I can't. I'm sorry. I don't give up, dude. I'm sorry. That's just crazy.
I don't see what would be so hard about it. I mean, it all happens on mail. Just do it by mail and online. Wouldn't be that hard. I
I don't
mean,
know. What about the areas that were taken over that may not have online no more? What about their votes?
they don't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It does. You really can't do it.
Then they're no best. So then I think they possibly could. You could sneak in there. You can.
So you think they're going to risk sneaking people in there just to give a ballot, just for a vote?
Sure.
In the middle of a war. That's crazy.
And not just even sneaking in physically. They could do it, with like concealed VPNs. There's all sorts of ways they could do it.
I don't think they're going to spend that much time. I think they're too busy worrying about a war.
Well, I mean, if they're communicating with, because man, now the people, like, to the people with territories that have been taken over, if nobody talks to them about voting. They're just going to think they're going to think it's the same old if they're parts of Russia now.
I kind of feel like they probably aren't even worried about it as much as you think they are.
I'm
at this point
they are, because what the fuck are you going to be speaking about? You're going to be talking about war, and you're going to be talking about what it wants, what you want. And so, yeah, there's going to be a certain number of people thinking like you do. We just want to keep fighting. But I guarantee there's also people that are thinking like I do. because that's just I mean, it's not like I'm going to be thinking of things for that area that they haven't thought of themselves.
That's true, but I would like to meet some of the people who are in the middle of a war thinking about who to elect at that moment when the house is getting
What
bombed.
else do they have to think of? Because it's not like they can be
They have to think of getting out, trying to find a place where
No,
they
it's
don't get
not,
bombed.
but it's not,
Through who's in.
but it's not like it's not like they can be thinking about their career because they don't have any lives anymore. It's not like they can be thinking about having kids because who wants to bring kids into a war zone?
So I mean, then why would you think about who to vote for?
I mean, I think people, they're not sheep. People are, I mean, they're going to be thinking every day about their country and their government and what they want.
Yeah, but in the middle of a war, your house is getting bombed or you're getting bombed next to you. The first thing that's coming to your mind is thinking about who you want as the next leader at that moment.
You're going to be thinking, I mean, if we're talking about the country as a whole, I mean, when you're in a war, when you're in trouble or whatever, there's going to be people thinking like, go on, Zelensky, don't give up. We're with you. And they're going to be people that want to stop this shit. I mean, really, we're not that. I think that basically people are, I mean, I think that, yeah, if a bomb is falling on you right now, you might not be, but if people talk about politics in their country and their lives, what else? So, of course, they're thinking about it.
I guess so. I just would love to see the people worrying about the politics when there's a war going on like that.
There's nothing. I pretty much that would be all they worry about.
I think they'd be worrying about
all they worry about.
Worried about hurrying up and stopping, not worrying about a vote.
But if they think somebody else can get in and end the war, that would be the question. If they think somebody else could do a better job ending the war, same as the people in Israel feel. So yeah, Israel's a perfect example. They want the war to go in a different direction. Well, people do.
Yeah, and I get it. I just think Israel is a little more better off than Ukraine is. I think Ukraine is a little more on desperate mode, so I think I can understand.
Absolutely, but I think that whatever. Zelensky and his wife had time to be photographed for Vanity Fair magazine. They got time. He's got time to I mean, it would be different. You wouldn't be campaigning like the United States held elections during wars. The United States
Yeah, but I'm talking about they weren't in the same situation as Ukraine. Like you're putting up countries that are.
The United States was bombed in World War. They held elections in World War II, and they'd been bombed.
Seriously, when? Who was the election? So I'd like to check that out. That's crazy. And what was that?
FDR was elected in 1944. An election was held during war.
And they were bombed. The one area was bombed. Was it like Ukraine though?
Well, no, they were bombed in Pearl Harbor.
That was
1941.
That's not the same as Ukraine.
Well, of course not. I mean, countries.
I'm talking about you. I think it's kind of like you're bringing a place. Okay, they may have gotten bombed, but I'm talking about Ukraine is actively every day. The Russians is trying to take it over.
Yeah, but it's been 3 years. I mean, they have to try. There's got to be people that are having a life as well. I mean, and that part amazes me, but they are, that you see that. And, especially like when
and I get the life part, but I just don't see them having time to worry about doing a whole election.
Unfortunately, you would have even more time if you're hiding out in your basement trying not to be bombed.
So if you're in your basement trying to be bombed, who are you going to go for elect? Who do you know who's going for elect? Who's running? Who do you want to hire? Who do you want?
You'd be sitting there thinking I want somebody else in there to end this fucking war.
And so what are you going to do? How are you going to stop it? How are you going to get that going during a war?
I think you can hold an election during war. They managed to draft people.
Well, the drafting people is different. You could easily get here's a gun. Here's a gun.
It's you know,
I think that's kind of different
I
than
just
having a whole election.
no, I mean, elections are not held. Danger is given as a justification for not holding an election
I don't know. This is a different kind of
all
danger.
the time.
The
Well,
country's being taken
but
over. I just can't see them having an election. I would like to see a country that was being taken over, like Ukraine, not just an area being bombed. I'm talking about where the country is actively being taken over, just like Putin is like, I am taking over Ukraine, and them to have time to do a whole election while their country's being taken over. I can almost guarantee that cannot happen. I don't see how that can happen.
I think I mean, I think they're managing to do other stuff. I mean, I think if it matters, you find a way to do something, and I think it matters a lot. And there's ways they do.
I mean, they can appoint somebody and just do it, but having a straight
communication.
election, there's no way they
But
can do it.
I mean, it's like people aren't getting a chance to hear from anyone else what they want to do hear ideas.
Yeah, but that's the whole point. How
What
are
if
you going
they lose trust in Zelensky?
But how are they going to listen?
What about people that have lost trust? I'm sure plenty of people want somebody.
But how are you going to hear from them during the war? I mean, what are you going to do if your house got bombed?
They hear from Zelensky all the time.
No, I'm not talking about just Zelensky, but you're seeing an election, so they got to be able to hear from the elected, right?
You'd hear from them the same way they find out about other stuff, TV and internet. They have that.
Okay. I just have never seen. I'd love to see an election for Ukraine at this time. I just don't see it happening.
I think I'm sure there's plenty of people that want one. I mean, you can't, I mean, he's fine. Like, that's the thing. He's fine with the war going on, but what about other people? I mean, I think I just, if you're not going to win, you need to come up with a better deal.
I'm going to change that. You don't know if he can win or not.
Sure,
you don't know if you can win until you fight as much as you can fight. So I disagree.
But you're not.
There's a chance he can win. There's always a chance.
But you're not just making the decision for yourself. How many people are you willing to let die? And that,
more people won't die if he lets it go.
Because he can strike a better deal. I mean,
how do you know?
Well, you strike a better deal and then you move.
But how do you know he can strike a better deal? How do you know they're willing to take the deal that he wants to give them?
Well, I mean, if you look at it that way, you're never going to do anything. I mean,
I see what you're saying, but see, you're kind of saying that it's okay if you feel like they're losing for them to lose and let them give up, but it's not okay for them to keep trying if they can win, if they feel they can win. You can't do that.
I think they're insane to think that they can win.
Why?
Because Russia's 10 times bigger.
Just because it's bigger, that doesn't mean they got help. They still have a chance of winning.
I don't think
they're holding Russia back now. If it's so big, why don't Russia just take them over and just let it go? Why is Russia not just taking it over? They're 10 times bigger. Just take it over, and then you don't have to worry about it, right?
I don't know enough about war to say that, but yeah, that is
okay. But let me just say this:
what
you just answered. You say you don't know enough about war, but you just said Russia was 10 times bigger, right?
Yeah, and
what I'm trying to say is you tried to imply that being them 10 times bigger, they should win the war.
Well, that's what I think. I mean,
even though Ukraine does have help, Ukraine isn't by themselves. They're getting help from us and other countries.
I know. I mean, no, I mean, of course, yeah, you just asked a question that was like, I mean, yeah, I think I think Ukraine is going to lose because Russia's 10 times bigger. But you just asked a question that was so abstract that I was like, I don't know. I mean, you need to just go step by step.
And I think they are going step by step. But to me, Ukraine is right now at a point where if they were that bad off, I don't think there would be no negotiating needed in the first place. Well, I'm saying you're saying Russia is 10 times bigger. If they could just take it over, I believe Putin would have just took over
Oh.
Ukraine. He can't just take it over. So what I'm trying to tell you is, if he can't just take it over, there is still always a chance for Ukraine to somewhat win. Or I don't know what they want out of the situation.
That's way too abstract for me, because that's like, if we're trying to get into what if this then that, I don't know. I mean, he could very well have reasons, or international, or I don't know. I mean, I think that I mean, I'll have to pull up the numbers of people, like, okay, they need to look at, Zelensky needs to look at how many people have died in the past 3 years and how many people have not gotten an opportunity to have a life. How long is it okay for kids not to graduate? I mean, how long is it okay for people not to start their lives?
And what makes you think he hasn't looked at it?
Of course, I mean, I'm saying, well, no, I mean, I'm saying that is the consideration, and so far for him, it's not too many.
But how do you know he didn't consider that?
I just said he did. I said that you need to consider that, and I said you need to consider that, and for him, it is apparently not too much.
What makes you think it's not too much of a consideration for him?
No, I'm saying that I'm saying you look at those factors, and for him, too much hasn't been lost because he's continuing to fight.
I think he looks at the factors. I think,
of course he is. I mean, what else?
I just kind of think that when we look at it from the outside in, we don't see the whole picture. I kind of feel, I don't know him personally. I don't know the whole situation, but I kind of feel that people know if they don't have a chance, I think they would give up to a certain degree. But I kind of think he has a chance. That's my opinion on it. That's my opinion.
I think he's I think he's lucky to have you behind him, Roselle.
He may be, but hey.
Hey, if I were
I'm just saying like this, if Putin was gonna do it, and I know from what they say about Putin, don't know Putin personally, he would have took it over a long time ago if he could, but apparently he can't do it. So
I'm gonna look that up, because I mean, I've seen that idea brought up in different places, and yeah, I mean, I've heard that. I know that that's been discussed, but yeah, of course, I mean, he's looking at factors and deciding whether you're going to decide when have you lost too much, basically. And so for Zelensky, it is. For Zelensky, it isn't. But I think the rest of the country should get to decide that as well.
I don't know how they're gonna have an election in the middle of a war, but they're gonna have to figure that out, I guess.
Yeah, they say they're a fucking democracy.
I think they are, but if you're in the middle of getting bombed, I don't know how you're gonna do it. You got to deal with the leader you have at that point. I don't know. That's a hard situation.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'll have to do some more I'll do some more reading about it this week and see what I can figure out. Yeah. Because yeah, I mean, I've even heard that in debate. I've heard that exact thing in debates. People are like, well, why didn't he take it over if he's so powerful? And I've seen reasons listed. I have to go find out what they were.
I'm just saying, there's always reasons why.
Well, yeah.
If he could, believe me, if he could take it over, he would have just did it. I feel he would have did it a long time ago, but he can't.
Well, not necessarily. There could be other reasons, and I'll find out about
and
that.
I'm sure there is, but like I'm saying, like, regardless, there's reasons why he can't take it all the way over.
Well, there's reasons that he isn't. I mean,
Okay, either way, we can put it either way. There's reason that he isn't. I'll take that.
I don't even know. See, some of it is like, I mean, this is just speculation. You know, I mean, if he's some kind of psychopath or something, just he could very well just want the war to keep going because there's just suffering, and he has an unlimited supply of people.
Could be.
Did we get any comments? Anybody have any opinions about there?
No, I did. I just Googled it just to see what it says.
You can't. What did it say?
It says Russia's difficulty in defeating Ukraine stems from several factors: strong Ukraine resistance, effective use of Western military aid, and Russia's own military shortcomings. While Russia has made some territory gains, it has not achieved its initial strategic goal and has faced significant setbacks. So like I said, I just don't think it's as easy as you think it is for them to just take it over.
Easy. Jesus, come on.
I don't think it can be done. I'm just saying, you were like, they have 10 times as many, you know, it's 10 times bigger, but I just don't think that matters.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what they come up. We'll see what happens this week. I mean, yeah.
They even said on here Russia has had a lot of high casualties. Most of their operational maneuvers, whatever they're planning, a lot of it hasn't been done. Like, I guess key spots that they're supposed to get, they haven't got.
Yeah.
Russia has outdated equipment.
I'm sorry, because that's such I mean, that is such a stereotype. I mean, it's one of those, like, you see that in like cartoons and stuff of, like, you know, Russians like fighting with stuff from the First World War. Shit.
Well, hey, I'm just saying, if they were so big and bad, they could have took it over. They wouldn't have to be doing all this. And there has to be a reason why it. And I know it's not just because they're told not to do it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, I just would like to see it stop.
Me too. I agree with you that. Me and you could definitely agree on that. They just
Yeah.
let it go. Stop.
Me and you should never open a business together. I'd be like, oh, I want to negotiate this. Rosal's like, no.
I would negotiate it. I would tell you the truth. I wouldn't.
No. I mean, if we ever got into some sort of dispute. Well, yeah, because my brother said that with his law partner, he says that if they did what Glenn said all the time, they'd be broke, and if they did what he said, they'd be in jail. So they're a good team.
There you go.
I don't know. Maybe we could work that way too.
There you go. I like that.
Yeah. Okay, so remember, next month you got to tell me your next DJ gig.
Oh yeah. Well, I got one at the end of this month. Is at Mosswood in Oakland, so that's on the 30th.
Okay. Cool.
It's a long month.
It is, huh?
Yeah, and the 30th, I still got one more week. Woo! I get a week of rest.
Do you? Oh, nice.
This week is nothing so far. Woo! I ain't got to do nothing this week.
What party were you? You were at a party like.
It was a wedding.
Oh yeah, you were playing some good music there. I like that.
Yeah, it was a wedding.
Yeah, lots of jazz and stuff. I was like, hey, I would have enjoyed. Yeah, I wouldn't have minded being invited to that wedding. Hey, I like your music choices. Please invite me to your wedding.
I'll do. One of these I'll get you to. I'll get you to. That one was on a weird day. That was like right after work. I literally went from work and did the wedding right after work. So it just was something else.
Yeah. I thought it was I thought it was because I saw it was during the day. I thought you were maybe doing that thing where you DJ at work.
No, it was a wedding at someone's house. So I went straight to the house after work.
Yeah. Well, I liked their music.
And they chose, well, the music, the jazz was me, but they chose
Yeah.
their wedding music, of course.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah.
the jazz was me.
Okay. What kind of music did they choose?
They choose something about, what's that guy's name that's known? It's called Perfect. The song is called Perfect. Ed Sheeran.
Oh, I don't know who that is.
Ed Sheeran or something like that.
And then you got October 11th down for my.
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
That's Inferno, right?
Yes.
Let me see. Yep, I put that down too. That's at 5 p.m., right?
Yeah, we're starting to set up at 5.
So am I setting up there too?
What do you mean?
Am I DJing that or no?
Isn't
I
that
am,
what
right?
isn't that what you're doing there? Isn't
I
that
thought I was. Okay, I didn't know if I was invited to watch it or to DJ.
Oh, no, to
And
DJ.
I wrote down here DJ, so I thought you said DJ.
I thought you'd want a DJ there.
I do want a DJ.
Okay.
No, it's not that I don't want to, but I want to make sure. I don't want to come there with all my DJ equipment. You're like, oh no, I would have felt stupid.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. No, it's all good.
Cool. Okay.
That's
Well,
on Saturday. Okay.
yeah. Okay.
Cool.
So, yeah, you have a good week, and I'll see you Sunday.
Yes, do it again. And it's Global History Night, y'all.
Let's think about, let's wish everybody keep thinking good thoughts for Zelensky. Yeah.
Yep. We'll see what happens, man. It's a sad thing, but hey.
Yeah.
Hopefully they come up with a deal. A
Yes.
deal would be and just get it the right way, but hey.
Definitely.